Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. These are blinds for a Velux. In fact, they're not the whole blind. This is the motor. This is the electric part. If you've got Velux windows that are very high, back in the day you could buy these incredibly expensive blinds that you could remotely operate to open and shut them. And I never got those because they're very expensive. So I've always lived with light shining into my eyes at 4 a.m. every morning whenever the sun starts coming up. However, times have changed and these things are no longer prohibitively expensive. And these are basically an aftermarket. They're not made by Velux, they're made by a different company. Not quite sure on their name. It seems to change every piece of paper from them, invoice, etc. has a different company name. But essentially it lives inside. It's a frame that goes inside your windows, and just imagine there's a roller blind in here. In fact, I should think there is. If I sort of start pulling at it, I can actually just about see some material in there. So yes, there is a roller blind in there. And it's going to go up and down these tracks, and there's a motor that operates that. But what I thought would be interesting on there, I wanted just to have a quick look to see if I could figure out what kind of battery charges this thing up. In fact, there I can see the material of the blind there, and it's going to move down on that. I don't want to pull it too much because the thing could actually all come apart. But I was just curious at where do they put the battery. So I'm eyeballing it. I can see the battery pack actually. It looks like it's underneath this cover, and I'm going to be a bit cautious because, of course, I don't want to knacker this, and because it's going to be fitted somewhere very inaccessible, it's not something you want to break. But let's have a quick look, just the quickest of looks in there. And it is a torque screw, interesting enough. They don't want you getting in here. I'm really hoping it all just doesn't sort of pop apart. But they make these custom for you. You give them the sort of spec for your windows and they have it on file, what's the sort of size and everything. And if they don't, you can just give them the actual dimensions of the opening. A bit like ordering windows, I suppose. You know, if you're just ordering regular windows and just ordering the window panes. And you wait, I think this has been about a week, so it's taken them about a week to make. And you choose your fabric and all those things. And that's it really, ship them back to you. So it's quite a painless process, but I was a little bit worried because it's not particularly cheap, right? At the end of the day, I think there's still, you know, I can't remember exactly, but I think they're, you know, maybe like £150 a window, £120 a window, 180, whatever it is, the size of your window, it varies, but they're not cheap, in other words. And if you don't want to cock up your order. Can you imagine that? You order it, comes in wrong size. Oh, right. It's kind of coming apart now. I can see it tantalisingly close. The battery is just sitting there. There are all these rollers, mechanisms in there. I'm going to be a bit cautious. Now, I did notice there is a sort of tape here, and that's taped over the two parts. So I don't really want to ruin that foamy tape, so I'm just going to make a small cut in it. Go 1 and 2, so that will allow me to still use the tape as it functions without it holding this piece on here. There we go. Right. Ooh. Hello. I'm actually bending. You can see there's a sort of drive rod that goes through to the motor pack. Careful. I can turn it. There we go. That's all we need to do to see the battery. And there's the battery pack right there. Look, sitting in there. So it does sort of look like it will be possible to change the pack. That's my main worry, whether or not you'll be able to change it. But yeah, you can. And it looks, I can feel it. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 10 AAs, and I can just about see here NIMH. 2000 milliamp hours, 12 volts pack. So there, that's a good old size pack there. So the solar cell is kind of just looks like it's almost going straight into the battery. I can't see any gubbins in here, any clever stuff, but maybe there's clever stuff within the actual unit itself, because there must be a receiver and all sorts in here somewhere among all of this lot, unless it's of course all integrated into the cell. So there, that was my little bit of investigation. Thank you so much for having a look with me. And hopefully if you need some, have a look on the internet. You can go on and find some blinds. And this company was called Bloc Blinds, BLOC. So have a look at Bloc's website and maybe they'll have blinds for you. Hoorah! It literally took me just about 10 minutes each, if that, to install. Really quick. I've got the remote control in my hand. You can't really see it. It's probably a bit dark on the screen. But I'm going to push the down button on one of them. And there you go. Blinds go down nice and slowly. There's a stop button. And then there's an up button. It's that easy. And let's have a blinds race. Go! Oh, this is edge of your seat stuff, isn't it, really? We're halfway there. So you can tell these are a blackout material. It's getting proper dark in here. Awesome. I might have to replace every blind in the whole house with blackout. Amazing. And there we go. The left one did win. Ooh, and it stops when it gets to the end. So you can see that little metal frame now on the inside. Nice and slim. Brilliant. Absolutely a proper job. Glad I did it. Wish I did it years ago. Thanks for watching.